Watch out, y'all, we got a live one today. I've worked on manual field labor crews where most of my coworkers were convicts, and I've also worked with a lot of tech companies on automating farms. And this press conference is incredible because this person hasn't the foggiest clue what she's talking about. Every farm job that can be automated already is. Let's start there. Do we really have a USDA secretary who thinks nobody's ever tried to automate picking fruit? And then we'll talk about the whole tee-hee, we'll just make the Medicaid people work the farms part in a moment. Here's what you need to know. Fruit and vegetables that are hard or going to be processed can be picked by machine. So nuts, carrots, sour cherries for pie filling, berries and grapes that will be dried, tomatoes for sauce, those are already all picked by machine. But fruit and tomatoes that are eaten fresh cannot be automated with current technology. There is no way to pick them fast enough by machine to be commercially viable without bruising them so they rot before they get to the store. And I know this because I worked for a lot of the startups who tried. Having a USDA secretary who doesn't know or care about any of this is completely wild. Now let's get on this whole, we'll just have the Medicaid people pick the crops thing. And let's ignore the whole forced labor is bad issue because everyone who cares about that already knows. Let's focus strictly on logistics. The idea that getting rid of experienced workers who came to this country to work on purpose and replacing them with newbies who will somehow do the same work is a pipe dream. Agriculture deserves people who know and care enough about it to say that. Something that kept happening to me as a white American who worked in manual field jobs, because surprise, there's not a ton of us, but we're out there. It was finding out when I got to a new job that I was one of the only people on the crew who was there on purpose and getting paid. I'd get to work the first day and find out that most of my coworkers were convicts working off a sentence. So they were completely new to farm labor and didn't really want to be there. Part of my job, I was told, was I was supposed to mentor them, show them the ropes. So I spent a lot of my career on the front lines on what a lot of American farmers might be about to experience. So here's what you need to know. Inexperienced people who don't really want to be there and aren't already physically trained will not do good work, even if they want to. They don't know how and physically cannot. This is a pipe dream. This is a pipe dream that Brooke Rollins is selling. Farmers would hire these crews I was on because they didn't want to hire immigrants for whatever reason. And you know what? They were always disappointed with the results. These crews were slow, sloppy, kept breaking stuff because they were clumsy. In the end, because the work was done so slowly, so badly, and the wardens and supervisors all expect a full-time white-collar salary, there was no real cost savings compared to just hiring real workers. That's what people learned. This one crew I was on in Florida had a rotating cast of 19-year-old weed and Xbox kids, been caught on minor drug charges. These were not hardened criminals, they were just gamers, and you know what else? They were super clumsy. They were big kids who had no idea where their feet were. They just kept stepping on all the blueberry transplants that we just planted. Another crew I was on was a bunch of high schoolers who were working off community service for juvie. And this was juvie in the 90s, so everybody smoked. Tobacco is packed with plant viruses that are super contagious to plants. They can be spread just by touch. So don't smoke in the fields is a key farm rule because you can get the whole field sick doing that. Not only did the juvie crew not know or care, the foreman didn't know or care. That's how janky this outfit was. I hope those fields turned out okay. Now I don't want to blow any minds here, but agriculture is a real job. It needs to be taken seriously. It takes real skills, knowledge, and people who know and care what they're doing. Stop treating agriculture like society's dumping ground. We are not. And that goes double for the people who are supposed to be looking out for agriculture, like the head of the USDA.